This is session 112. Who remembers what happened in session 111?
We fought and killed the Mummy Lord. Um, we spent some time looking at the items and the loot. There was a pyramid that had also items in there, but I don't remember what it was, but we couldn't like stay in there for very long. Um, and I couldn't remember why, but there was something.
Because it was aggravating your astral plague. If
Yes,
you had
that's it.
if you had stayed in there longer, you would have had to make another save.
Right. And like every time I think because it was like another dimension. So every time we entered that dimension, I remember there was some sort of aggravation to it as well. Um, so after we defeated the Mummy Lord, we Aurelia performed her ritual over many over a long time, several hours, to close the void gate that was hanging above the pyramid within the pyramid. When she did that, uh, we appeared back in the desert in modern time uh, at Cairo al Nazir, and uh, it was nighttime. The moon was out. We Zarius was trying to contact Clave to see where he was, and all he got was signs of pain and fire. Um, so we decided, not knowing any further where he could be, we decided to continue on to Dohat Pajar. Um, so we took on the Windwalk form and moved in that direction. We realized that we were really far away. Like we were in like the southeast corner, maybe south central tipping on east of the warm ones, and we had a long way to go. So uh we got to a city, and there was it was like, I think it was empty, but then there was a bunch of pixies in there, um and then we left that city, and we continued on our way. And I think it looks like we ended with running across some air elementals flying above a river.
So you could see the river from the city you were in, or at least the ruins of a city. And you essentially they were downriver from where you were. So you had to fly up and over these air elementals to avoid interacting with them, which you did. Flying past the air elementals, you flew on until the windwalk was about to end. So you landed to rest for the night. You actually have several hours before the sun officially sets. So I don't know if there's anything anybody needs to accomplish. But because you essentially woke up from your prior long rest almost immediately after casting a few spells, you cast the Windwalk. So you flew for the 8 hours. So you basically have like another 8 hours before you're going to be able to long rest again. And again, you find the weather is, you are in a desert. The sky above you is a sort of strange purple with blue at the fringes of it. Very similar to my background, actually. It's a very colorful sky. It's not incredibly hot, but it's, north of 80 degrees, but just not quite 90. So hot, but not unbearably hot.
Hmm.
You do have the river. The river does have, it is seems to be flowing normally. So you could use that water to cool down. There's not much in the way of land features in this area for you to take shelter in, though.
Well, Aurelia has the Leoman's tiny hut, right? So we should be okay as far as shelter goes.
Hopefully.
Um, I suppose T-Hole would he would spend some time by the water. Um, bathe his feet at least. Um, depending on how cold it is and how deep it is, he might take everything off and just bathe.
Is Aurelia putting up a tiny hut? I know that's T-Hole's plan. A T-Hole doesn't
Yeah,
get
yeah,
a
I was double checking to make sure. I'm pretty sure this character had it. Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
So yeah, so the day passes. If no one has anything that they're specifically looking to do during the day, the day passes more or less uneventfully. You do see various unusual sights. You realize that there are an unusual number of air elementals. They don't seem to be interested in you, or at least perhaps they're just not noticing you as far away as they are. At one point, you see a lizard, and you think it actually is a lizard the size of a dragon. It also seems to be uninterested in you, but it strides directly over top of the tiny hut, dwarfing the tiny hut and just continuing across the river, which is very easily traversable by it. But again, nothing hostile seems to turn up. So you're gonna long rest then?
How does the whole study thing work when you gotta study something for so many hours? Do you just break it up each long rest into so many hours, or can you
You can,
study
if
more
you're,
than one thing, or?
uh, that's true. I guess we didn't necessarily say how all of the treasure was being divided up, but I assume Aurelia is talking about her getting the tome of understanding and influence, leadership and influence.
Yeah, and I've
Uh,
got, sorry, and I've got two other things I have to study too in order to learn them. So I was just
No, I mean,
figuring
I
how
would
that worked.
just keep track of the number of hours spent. I
Okay,
mean, you can spend 8 hours during this downtime to study.
okay. So they
And I don't
can be
know if
broken
anybody,
up, or does it have to be
no,
exclusively one thing?
no, they can be
It
broken
could be
up.
broken up, yeah.
Okay, okay.
I don't know if anybody needs to attune to anything. Or if that was already done or what, I don't recall. I think T-Hole attuned to the staff of smiting.
He did, yeah. It was his old staff. He remembers the weight in his hand and the feel of it striking things.
He misses the shaft in his hand. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, on your character sheet, you'll have to track like what to strike with the staff, because that's +3. Versus what to strike with your astral arms. Just keeping that in
Yeah.
mind.
Um,
It doesn't make all of your attacks magical, but its attacks are magical.
the staff of striking's attacks are magical.
Yes. It's +3 to hit in damage,
Yes.
and
Yeah,
it can
I
do
got
that extra damage. Okay. So as you settle down and rest for the evening, all of you are woken up when you hear a sound that sounds like stone grinding on stone. And across the river ahead of you, rising up into the night sky, you see what is clear to Zarius is a sanctuary of Sekhmet has just appeared on the landscape. It wasn't there when you laid down. It is fairly
remind me of
bright.
Sekhmet.
Sekhmet is a god of protection and healing whose temple you have to find in Doat Pajar.
Oh, okay. So
As
this is a good thing.
whatever the cure is, she said you'd find it there.
Right.
So what are we looking at? Wes, I heard sounds of grinding and then
Right. It is a giant white stone temple. It's lit up by numerous small lights. At the top of it, you see what looks like an enormous dome that appears as though it might be made of water. It's laced with like lines of gold going through it. But the overall effect is if it's like a giant droplet of water sitting atop this building.
how tall is it?
It's so it rises sort of gently in stages, but you would guess probably the dome is probably 100 or more feet above the ground. There's a picture.
Hmm.
Yeah, are we able to get to it easily?
There are bridges across the river seem to have formed when the building appeared.
We
Well,
could get stuck in one of those. We could get stuck in another time trap
mm,
like that last place.
but this is clearly dedicated to our my deities. Amongst my pantheon that I worship, the deity of protection. I'm going to look.
Theo will he will be unsure, but he will at least follow. Given that we'd be dead without Zarius healing us.
Have we gotten our
Just,
long rest?
just no, not yet. You've
Okay.
just the start of the long rest.
Gotcha.
But I was gonna say, just negating crits alone, I think Zarius has added value.
Yeah.
Right.
Deep down, T Hole wouldn't admit that he he eventually would admit that he has grown fond of all his companions, but it takes a bit to pry it out of him.
But only the ones that
Even
have stuck
Clave?
around.
Even Clave.
Darn. No.
So is Aurelia going to?
I can't leave the tiny hut.
You can put
Well, I
it up
mean,
again.
you could cast it as a ritual, so
It is a ritual spell,
Okay.
and very few casters don't get ritual casting. So
Okay. Yeah, I'll go check it out then.
I like how like setting up a tent is like a ritual.
right.
It's like it does take about 10 minutes if you have a cooperative tent.
Yeah.
Right.
so
Or somebody else just do it.
crossing the river, you see, does Zarius read Thultish? Does anyone read Thultish?
I know a little bit of ancient Thultish from that stuff I studied.
Okay,
No, I
Does
didn't
anybody
know.
else?
I didn't really think about like what I would have known at the time. Like I picked Goblin at the time, like a long time ago, but that's it. I didn't really know
Yeah.
what else was available, what was appropriate for the area.
I mean, at the time, I think that was probably reasonable given that there was like the Hobgoblin army and
It did help, yeah, at that time.
so Aurelia, you see there are hieroglyphs all along the walls of this particular building. You see that it identifies it as a refuge for travelers along the path. It also has language that makes you think that it's somewhere near what it describes as Mount Celestia. Are you proficient in religion? No, that's true. You're a bard. Never mind. You can roll a religion check to see what you know. Jack of all, I view Jack of all trades as you're basically proficient in everything.
Yeah, but religion is the. Oh, well, okay. All right.
So yeah, you're well aware Mount Celestia is almost its own plane in the Outer Planes where the gods supposedly all reside. So you're not sure why this identifies it as being close to Mount Celestia, given that it's here. But like I said, it says that it is a refuge for weary travelers, and it's a refuge that was built apparently by Sekhmet. You also
Refuge.
see it's flanked by two colossal lion statues. Their eyes glow in a way that seems inviting. But of course, if this was an evil trap, that's how they would glow.
Right. I will say a prayer, like an appropriate prayer, before crossing their paths.
And walking inside, you walk into a broad courtyard. It's fairly spacious. There's magical lights that ring the yard and light it up. There's a reflecting pool in the middle that's surrounded by pretty lush greenery, given the desert surrounding. And there are hundreds of desert flowers that ring this particular pond. You smell the scent of sandalwood and myrrh sort of burning, but you haven't seen anyone yet. And you can see the courtyard sort of funnels you in further into the building. Around you, you see, by the way, there are mosaics of Sekhmet, this cat-faced goddess, in various scenes of both protection and battle and healing. Probably all specific mythological tales. Although, is Zariath proficient in religion?
Nope.
So they're obscure even to you. Aurelia, you'd be aware of some of them and so could identify them as specific legends or myths regarding Sekhmet.
Hmm.
Entering in further, you do see high above you, actually, floating in the air, there are some figures that appear to be angelic that are flying around. It's not exactly clear what they're doing. They do come together periodically and will touch their foreheads together and clasp hands. And some light will glow that passes between them. And then they will fly off and perform the ritual again with other people. But they seem to also pay you no mind. Nice.
Yeah, just kind of like look around for the most inviting looking building.
So it's clear that you were sort of being funneled towards what appear to be like dormitories for travelers. But before you get to them, one of the angelic beings flies down and says, "I'm glad you're finally here. We've been waiting quite a while to find you. Your friend is in trouble, and he will need your help. Do you require any healing or rest? This is a place of peace. You are safe here."
What's Lucia Rossi done now?
We require both of those things. Which friend do you speak?
Your changeling friend.
Be
How do
more
you-
specific.
Let's like look back.
How do you know of him? What is his name?
Your friend Clave. I serve Sekhmet. She knows many things about the world and even more about her sultan.
Is
That's supposed to be
Clave
me.
is Clave her sultan?
No, but Zarius is intended to be sultan. Whether he accepts the role or not is, of course, up to him. But Sekhmet desperately wants you to cleanse her sanctuary in Dohat Bajar. And I believe it is your fate to do so. Clave will be useful in doing that, and may not survive if you don't return to save him. Though here, time doesn't necessarily mean quite as much. You can rest if you wish. We
It
can
would be
send you
useful.
off when the sun rises again.
are you able to travel overland at great distances?
We can get you where you need to be without the problems that the curse upon you might raise. Follow me. We can talk as we go. And, you're free to continue asking him questions. He is, however, leading you down a different path away from the dormitories.
What of my young companion, Kepri?
Capri is very near to where Clave is. She is in a peril all her own, although she's unaware of it. She's very hopeful that you are returning for her since she spoke with you last.
I would like to get her returned, yes.
And that is right that you should want that. Although you should be aware the enemy has been using Kepri's relative weakness against you. They figured out long ago that it is very difficult for them to scry upon any of you. Capri being the easiest of all to scry upon, and her always being in your presence made her an easy target. In fact, once they killed her and raised her up because they did not want to lose her. Once she fled from you and they modified her memory to make her think that she wanted to stay with you because they did not want to lose access to her. We can help you with that too. We can prevent them from spying upon Kepri.
How do you do that?
I don't do it, but Sekhmet has powers far beyond my meager.
Protection from all things, including far sight. Very
I'm
good.
sure it will be explained. And he leads you into a room with there's a much wider, shallow pool of water in this room. The top is opened up and you realize you're underneath that watery dome that was above you. And it does appear as though it is liquid water that has settled into a dome-like structure over the top, almost seeming like it's held in place by these gold braces that encircle it. But you could see crystal clear through the dome. You could see the stars above you with this pool reflecting the starlight. Please, each of you, look into the pool and your questions will be answered. And light flares around this angel as he flies up into the air and flies back out the entryway you came in.
Well,
Yeah. I'll approach the pool.
yeah, Teal would as well. He would see a reason to not.
What's Aurelia doing?
I guess I will go look at the pool.
So staring into the pool, this room is not as brightly lit. So you see the reflection of the sky above you as the moonlight pours in through the dome. You begin to see the pool begins to brighten and lighten. At the bottom of the pool, the Zarius, you see there is a little amulet on a tiny collar. And you get the impression that the pool wants you to take it.
Okay. The last time I had to take an amulet, I had to be banished from my own town. So I would initially be hesitant, but or reach out.
You realize the collar itself is probably only about, tops. It's not really adjustable, but it's at most about 3.5 or 4 inches around. So it's, not even something you could put around your giant wrist, but it probably would fit around Kepri's neck.
Yeah, I figured.
And you could see that there are magical protective runes inscribed on this gold disc that's held by the collar. Then as each of you stares into the now brightly lit pool, you all feel a great sense of ease and comfort. and you all get the benefits of a long rest and a hero's feast. And then you begin to see an almost purplish glow begins to bubble up from the bottom. And you're staring into what appears to be a large, pretty well designed room. It is wide open. You also see some creatures that have entered into the room, seeming to have appeared out of what looks like a purple gemstone. They begin to fan out across the room as if they're looking for something. And then suddenly you find yourselves enveloped in the purple glow coming up from the water, and you feel yourselves rushing forward as you are teleported into that same room. So let me switch you over.
I got a whopping 3 on my hero's feast die.
Is that the temporary hit points?
Now your max hit points goes up by that amount, by 2d10.
Oh, your max hit
2d10,
points.
I got a 3.
I
Brutal.
see.
Brilliant. Fucking brilliant.
It wasn't much better.
Oh, fucking, well, I get a 1 and a 2. Fucking. Yeah, oh well.
You emerge out of what appears to be a giant cluster of purple gemstone that's just growing out of the wall of this room. You see in the far south eastern corner, there is what appears to be an enclosed laboratory of sorts, but scorch marks burn the floor. You also see other lab equipment in the northeast corner, and you can see into what appears to be a sort of makeshift bedroom in the northwest corner. You also, however, see these creatures that are moving about that also seem to have come through the same crystal that you appeared through. Most of them appear to be, I mean, they're clearly sort of aberrations just from looking at them. Let me show you some of them.
This guy's ugly as shit.
There's
Star
multiple ones of these weird multi-armed creatures. And then a second multi-armed creature that seems to be moving towards the bedroom. But they all see you and turn their attention to you. So we could roll for initiative. Let me make sure I cleared the combat tracker.
Looks clear, right?
Yep. And I don't know if Mike's there, but Mike, you can also roll for initiative since you're asleep in the bedroom. About to be
I'm here?
ambushed. Yes.
Oh.
They have been teleported into the little sanctuary you created where you were
Ah.
studying the crystal.
All right. I will roll initiative.
Though you are currently asleep, so you will have to wake up.
Right. So I'll just should I just roll my initiative at disadvantage then, or
Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, I forgot actually. That reminds me. One of these guys has give advantage on initiative.
Lucky him.
I know it's exciting, isn't it? I finally get back into the game.
I was just waiting for Aurelia to be like, nope, I'm staying with my tiny hut.
Alright. So am I not able to see because I'm asleep?
No, you're not able to see because I forgot to put your token there.
Ah,
But if you insist,
Man,
All right.
it's-
so the Manglers will go first.
certainly will be me.
Close that. So that one is gonna double move up to T-hole. That one's gonna double move and not quite make it to Aurelia.
Did we get the sense that we know that Clave is here right now?
No, you're not aware of that.
Okay. We were just fucking. Here you go. Get ready for a fight.
That's their turn. And then this one. Fucking- So the star spawn seer. Oops. He is going to attack. Well, Zarius is up front, so he will attack Zarius.
Where's he at? Oh, he's over here, huh?
So you have to make a wisdom save.
Okay. Wish me luck, guys. I think I'm okay.
Yep. So no effect. And then he does it again, launching his colorful orb. Actually, why didn't it roll damage? What's wrong with this thing? Let's see.
Again at me?
Yes, again at you.
Same wisdom save?
Yep. Yep, you made it. So that's his turn. Keyhole.
Teal's gonna summon his arms and his visage. And he's gonna take on his old form and not spare the rod, and let him have it.
Right.
So
I've never known T-hole to spare the rod.
So 12 is a miss, but the crit obviously hits.
well, if T-Hole didn't spare the rod, then why is all of his family such shit?
So I don't know why your thing says +7 on the crit. Probably just wasn't set correctly.
yeah, what is the
It's the maximum damage you could possibly do plus your base damage of 14.
okay? So yeah, that would be 12,
15.
12 plus 14.
Yeah. Well, it's 15 because it's a +3
A
stat.
15. Yeah.
So you thwacked a guy pretty good once. It's not the majority of his hit points. So he just this weirdly spider-like being just snarls in your face.
Can I for using the charge, like how does the charge work? Can I just use that when I hit?
Yes.
Okay. And can I use any number of charges? You can up to 3 of its charges.
Right.
So, I'm going to expend 2 charges for an extra 2d6.
Oh, and your martial arts die.
So an additional 14 damage. I'll track that. Let's see.
Anything else you're doing?
Nope, that's it.
So Aurelia,
I'm gonna cast greater invisibility on myself.
okay. Sorry, that should have been opened. Anything else?
Yeah, I am going to move. No, that's not me. I'm here. I'm going to move like right here.
Anything else?
That's it.
All right, Clave, make me a perception check at disadvantage. DC is 15. If you're talking, I can't hear you.
Sorry. I'm thinking maybe because of the things that have gone on that he's dealt with, he might be in such a deep sleep and maybe dreaming of certain things that he might not be aware enough to even hear.
Yeah, I think there'd be a chance he would hear and wake up as there's combat going on outside.
Okay.
I mean, you don't have to get out of bed. That's well, even at disadvantage, that's enough. You awaken hearing the sound of fighting outside
Okay.
your door. I mean, you
Okay.
could just probably reach over and like it was a mistake that you like left a bedroom door in place. You were just so exhausted and tired, you forgot to turn it into a solid wall.
Yeah. So if I can act on this turn, I would certainly make this whole room just a metal box.
Yeah, I would say that this is like the surprise round for you, so you can act next turn.
Fair. Okay.
Zarius.
Yeah.
Okay. I will just in case she's within psychic shot, I will just sort of mentally call out to Kepri. As I
You do not
Okay.
sense Kepri's within range.
Sure. Then this guy, I'll have to move just a tad. I think it's close enough now. This guy's too far. I'm gonna go ahead and cast Bane, targeting these 3.
Oh, yeah. We're going in the darkness.
Yeah, charisma saves. DC 18.
So 2 failed.
Cool. Which one? Which one was the success then?
The one that's right on T holes,
Teal. Got
the
it.
injured one. He made it.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. My bonus actions are very, very limited, so I will just move. Yeah, I don't want to be in the visual range of this guy either, so
Yeah, the statues essentially provide cover.
yeah. So I'm gonna go here. And then I'll be done. Oh, that wasn't me.
So this one mangler is going to continue to attack T hole. So it has many, many arms, and it just comes at you with a ferocity that you might not have been expecting as it attacks you 6 times.
Whoa.
So I'm sure the 26 hits.
Yeah, that hits.
I don't
That
know about the
hits.
20. Two more.
All right, so the 26 and 20.
Only hit twice. That's fine.
And that doesn't recharge for him.
I just imagine, like, you know how people like do the practice on the wooden dummies with like the pegs sticking out of it. They're like hitting the wooden.
So the next one comes up. He has a minus D4 for the Bane. But he also attacks 6 times. Does a 19 hit?
That just hits.
So then
Except
it
he's
just,
Bane.
just misses. The 25 is
Perfect.
going to hit no matter what. That was good. I didn't have to actually roll a D4. This one's going to run up and towards Zarius and claw at him 6 times. Oh, I forgot to roll for the other guys. Recharge. Dope.
I'll stop that crit.
So it starts with a 19.
19
what's your
misses.
Okay.
20 is my AC.
So 26, 21, 27, and 26 hit.
21, that's Bane's though. So the 21 could get brought down.
You're right.
Got about a 50%, and slightly better than the 50%. Yeah, sweet. Perfect.
21 does not hit them.
So I'm hit by fucking 1, 2, 3 of them.
Yeah.
I gotta use one of my reactions here to stop.
29 damage total.
Okay. Magical or not?
Not magical.
Okay. So reduced even further.
Oh, we can just make it up to you. Oh, and this guy's thing recharge? Nope. This guy's also going to go after Zarius.
I couldn't Bane this guy.
No, he was out of range. So 2 of those hit. 16 damage.
You already did the reduction. No, you didn't.
No, I did not do the reduction.
Because it's what, 9 and 7, right?
Yep.
9 gets brought to 4, 7 gets brought to 3, so 7 total. I got to make a couple of con saves. DC is going to be 10 on both. You're gonna be fucking kidding me. All right. Well, they're
What,
not banned anymore.
what is Bane concentration spell? I don't think it
Yep.
is. Is it?
I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, it's concentration.
It's concentration, but I don't think they get a save to end it.
Right.
Okay.
They just
So-
get the initial save and then it's on until I lose concentration. That's fine. Now they're closer. Now I can enough cast it.
And then their leader, who is, you notice, carrying like a very weird staff that is glowing very intensely. However, he is not close enough to use it. So he is going to target T-Hole as he's easier to reach with his orb twice. So T-Hole, make me 2 saving for wisdom saves.
But he hates teal.
Are you using an action point?
The 16 might be close.
Ah. Hmm. You know what? I feel like I might regret it if I don't. I regretted that I did. I'm just gonna
You have
leave.
one, you have another action point? Okay, you're just gonna leave it.
Just
So
gonna
here's
leave.
the effect. So you take 33 psychic damage. And you're stunned.
Oof. Well, I tried.
So it's your turn, but you're stunned.
Do I get to do I get to like roll to break it at the end of my turn?
It ends at the start of his, or at the end of his next turn.
Oh, okay.
So it's a 1-round thing.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, if you have a bonus action, technically you can take a bonus action. It's only actions and reactions that incapacitated stop.
Let me check something. You know what? Yeah, I am gonna use a bonus action. I'm gonna use a bonus action. I'm gonna spend a Kai point to invoke patient defense.
Okay.
To dodge.
Yeah, so to take the dodge action.
Nice.
Good. That will negate the advantage they have because you're stunned.
Which, you know, it is funny to think of being stunned and also being able to dodge, but somehow he's making it work.
You know, incapacitated says what it says. Like I don't necessarily understand why it doesn't cover bonus actions, but it doesn't.
I mean, I've watched a fair number of fights. Sometimes people get their bell wrong, but they can still kind of fucking defend till they recover. So maybe.
In fact, this is the first time I realized that maybe I should just, all of the enemies that I'm always afraid are going to get stunned by T-Hole, maybe I just need to give them bonus actions. So at least they could do something. But it's Aurelia's turn.
Can I move here? Or do they get an attack of opportunity? But
No, they don't.
okay. Alright, I'm gonna cast Thunder Wave. See if I can knock those 2 guys back.
They both fail. Hit points first.
If you can have that spell in Baldur's Gate, always have it. It's very good. Especially for Evocation Wizard.
Yeah, they fly so far.
Yeah. Evocation Wizard can do it right amongst all their friends too. And their friends are totally fine. And just blow away the enemies.
Anything else you're doing as they are blown back?
I will inspire T-Hole. I think he's in range.
Yes, he's definitely in range.
Okay.
The D10.
Yes.
So if Clave, if you weren't awake before, the thunderous boom has definitely disturbed your sleep. And it's your turn.
Like Clave just like
Okay.
rolls over, puts the pillow over his over his ears.
So I'm using,
Installs soundproofing into his
Yeah.
room.
so I'm going to use my malleable illusion to solidify the walls around me to be completely solid metal, and on the outside of the walls there to be it just completely covered in spikes, and the area just outside like kind of a moat of magma.
Quick, put some magma around it now.
Yes.
What?
It's just it's totally harmless magma.
I feel like seeing that, like
Yeah, that's telltale. Like we've seen that before.
we definitely know that's Clave. very few people or very few things would just like make a moat of magma.
Just appear out of nowhere, just like shimmer into view and then suddenly start moving like it's real.
Yeah, and that'll be my turn.
Moat of magma. Darius.
Just call out. Clave! Just call out so that way you can hear us. And maybe you'll do something.
Do something.
Yeah, but just like, Clave, get out here and be useful for once in your miserable life. I don't know. It's just something along those lines, but not quite. That way you know it's Zarius as well, right? Not somebody
Or-
trying to trick you.
Or maybe, one of these psychic changelings got into my mind and knows exactly what I think Zarius would say.
You would know that. Well, these guys, they seem awfully foreign, you know?
Yeah, I mean, all of them seem unnatural to you. Got to roll something for them.
Do I have that? guess I could make it to T-hole. It might be useful to go on him. I will. I will approach and lay a hand. Oh no, actually, shit. Hold on, this is concentration too. Let me rethink that. Actually, fine. It's tough.
Also, as this fight goes on, remember that the three of you have advantage on wisdom saves. That didn't help T-hole, but
Indeed. I did forget about that part. That is useful. Well, in that case, $65-ish feet. I have to come slightly around the corner here, just for a moment, and I'm gonna cast upon the guy over here that keeps doing weird magicy things at us. Banishment.
Banished.
Charisma save.
Yep.
DC 18.
Go to your room, mister.
and so that you're aware, he has magic resistance, so he has advantage on this.
Sure. Didn't seem to matter. Okay.
To be and Bane that guy.
Right. Well, then the Bane would have gone away because banishment is a concentration spell. All right, hear me out. Can we shove as a bonus action like in Baldur's Gate?
No.
Damn it. Let's go. What if it's to shove a companion? Because I was going to shove T-hole away from these people. It's not like he could resist me.
Right, that's true. That's fine. I would allow that. As long as T-hole's willing to be moved. But sure, he automatically fails these sorts of things. So
Yeah, he's stunned
You
right
could-
now. So I'm just going to shove him out of the way.
you could do that.
Yeah, I don't know what I need to do, but yeah. I'll just be here,
So where are you shoving him to?
just like this way.
So you're shoving him under the crystal.
Yeah, sure.
So T-hole, you're now prone underneath the crystal, dodging.
All the good that dodge did me. No
Let's
friend.
Let's not risk it. I'll take it.
Doesn't help any in a friendly fire scenario, apparently.
Anything else you're doing?
Nope, that's it.
So one of these two, they turn, the ones that were attacking T-hole turn their attention now to Zarius.
Good.
One of them attacks twice.
I got one hit on me.
Then I'm just gonna put that up to separate them because the next one attacks 6 times. Hitting once.
Yep.
So just 9 damage. And then these other two, they're gonna go after Aurelia.
I know I'm there.
Oh, right. I'm sorry, you're invisible. I forgot. So no, they're gonna go after Zarius then. Let me roll his thing. And they both attack 6 times. 2 of those hit.
Do they? I see a 21.
There's a 20 and a
Oh,
21.
there's a 20 up here. Okay, got it.
And then the second, well, see if his thing recharges. Nope. And then the second guy goes.
I'll stop that crit.
Okay.
And
So 31 total without before taking away for resistance. Okay, quite get up to people. He'll attack Zarius since everybody's attacking Zarius. And make me a wisdom save with advantage.
right.
That made it. And make me another one.
Oof.
Made it. That's his turn. No effect.
Beautiful.
So T-Hole, you are no longer stunned, but you are prone.
So he's gonna use half his movement to get up. How is Zarius and
Aurelia's invisible.
Yeah, I'm still doing okay on hit points.
oh, I mean T-Hole can't heal.
Right.
I was gonna ask, how is Zarius in wisdom saving throws?
Incredible.
All right. So on the off chance this works,
What is it a confusion? I don't know what's going on. Okay.
yeah, T-Hole pulls forth from a very long time ago a wand of fear. And he's going to aim it at let's see, this does do cones. It's a 30-foot cone. So yeah, he's gonna aim it like, let's see, 30 feet. Actually, I could catch them all. If T-Hole moves here, he might be able to catch all of them. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna do use my one of my wand of fear. So it's a DC 15 wisdom saving throw, which they'll probably make in spades, but
Well, he's got magic resistance, so he might make it.
First of the Maglers fails, and fails. And the second guy doesn't seem to be affected by it at all.
let's see,
Immune to fear on this guy.
this one.
Yeah, he doesn't seem as if it has, he doesn't even understand what you were trying to do.
I know no fear.
He is just so alien to this world that he has never known fear.
These other motherfuckers are pretty fucking alien to this world too.
But they're also just low level minions compared to him.
So that's his action. For for
Mike, you'll appreciate this. Wife comes up to me and hands me this and says, "Would you like an egg in these trying times?"
Excellent.
So
yeah,
anything-
I'm gonna spend another Kai point to do the dodge action again.
Okay.
That'll be my turn.
Aurelia,
Hmm. Um, I'm gonna try to center. I'm gonna do black spherical death strike. I'm gonna try to center it around between the seer and these two guys. I think I know I can get at least two, but yeah, right in there. But I don't know if I can get that third guy,
which third guy?
the one at the bottom.
This guy?
No, the one on the left. I'm trying not to hit Zarius.
Right. You can definitely put it. So let's just see where this tool is.
Yeah, I was
But you
trying to-
you can definitely center it in a way to hit those three and not
Okay,
Zarius.
okay, yeah, I didn't know how exact it needed to be. Okay. Yeah. Mhm.
Because you're using snap to center. If you switch that off, you can uncenter
Oh.
things and then you'll get one like that.
Okay.
Oh yeah, there's the drag here. Yep. Yep.
See?
Oh, look, I rolled a 1. Nice.
So it's a dexterity save.
Yep.
Still half damage on a success, so that's nice.
Couldn't select because I was on the wrong tool. So the one is starting to look pretty beat up. The one that initially got whacked by Teal.
Okay.
But they also look incredibly afraid. Anything else you're doing?
They have fear. Yeah, I will move.
I would say Aurelia in particular, would you feel something almost familiar about these creatures? And thinking back, you remember there were creatures like this in Malakar's Keep.
Yeah. Okay, I'll just move a little bit closer in case. And I will inspire Zarius.
Hi.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
Clave.
Alright. I sent you what I'm doing.
Okay. Serious.
Sure. Um. That's a possibility. Um. So these guys are feared. Like with the fear spell, is that going to make them run or whatever?
Yes. They look like they're getting ready to run. Just or at least skitter away on their weird legs.
So they won't necessarily attack me if I move away from them.
It doesn't
I-
say that.
Yeah, that's
It
fair.
doesn't say they won't take a panicked opportunity attack if they can.
It'll just be at disadvantage, right? 'Cause they're
Right. It'll be a
they're-
disadvantage because they were frightened.
Um. Yeah, let's do a little bit of like self-healing. I'm gonna cast against this one. Vampiric Touch. Rolling to hit.
That hits.
Sweet. Deals 10 necrotic damage. And I heal for half of that. And that's concentration, so I can just now keep doing that. Sure, that's I'll call that for now. I don't need to provoke anything yet.
Okay. Let me just check the spear spell. I know they have to run. I don't know if they have to. That's like the only thing they can do. No, must take the dash action.
As far away as it can. And it can't take reactions.
Right.
So it can take bonus
Oh.
actions.
So it couldn't have attacked me then.
Is that what the spell
it couldn't
says?
do-
They can't take reactions.
Yeah.
If that's the case,
Forgot
then I
that.
would have moved closer to this guy.
But at the end of each turn, it can repeat the saving throw.
Well, it can repeat the saving throw if you're not in line of sight at the end of its turn.
Yeah, true.
That said, they can run behind the statues to get out of line of sight. So that probably will happen. But okay, so you have moved. Just looking at the spell. Where does it say they can't take reactions? I missed that.
Oh, I'm looking at the wand of. I was looking at a wand of fear.
Oh, yeah, maybe it's different than the fear spell then. Let me see.
That's what I was looking at.
Like
Okay,
to
so
introduce
yeah, my mistake. It is not actually just casting the fear spell. It's its own effect.
to introduce you to a friend of mine, Wanda. Wanda Fear.
That sounds like the name of like a good an NPC in like a horror campaign.
Yeah, it's definitely like a comic book character.
So yeah, it is, that is special to the Wand of Fear and not to the Spell Fear. So this one's gonna start running, and Zarius, you can take an attack of opportunity if you have a weapon in hand.
I do, but I kind of my
You want to save your reaction, that's fine.
yeah, my reactions are pretty useful. My reactions save lives.
Second one's gonna do the same, running. It's not gonna run past Zarius because it doesn't know if he's really gonna attack or what. And then T-hole, there are two of them in front of you are gonna move, so you can choose which one you want to take an attack of opportunity against, if you want to.
The last one that leaves. So
Yeah,
this
that's
and
there.
it's gonna do
That's a hit.
and I got sentinel feet, so
Okay, so he can't run.
yes.
That's their turn, but now three of them get their saving throws because they have the statue between you and them. What was the save again? Wisdom?
Wisdom DC
You're making
15.
sure. That's the wrong guy. Miss, miss. So
Man.
one of them is no longer frightened. And he just happens to be the furthest away. So the seer was going to do something else, but now Zarius is like right up in his face. So he takes his intensely glowing staff and strikes at Zarius. Missing and missing. Anything else he wants to do? No, that's it for this round. Keyhole.
Teal's going to continue imposing on the one that he stopped, and he's gonna first whack him across the face with his staff.
That hits.
And then he's going to, when he's after he's like hit back with that, he's gonna backhand him with his arm and then hit him
That
3
hits.
more times, or 2 more times for his bonus action.
Okay. He is in very rough shape. He could not withstand that assault again.
Martial arts die. And that's
Alright.
his turn.
Aurelia.
Hmm. Hmm. All right. Let's see. I'm going to cast.
I just sent you a message.
Okay. I'm gonna cast Shatter and put it on the seer, but put it behind him so I don't catch Zarius.
Okay. On save.
I believe so. Yeah.
And so you see as the energy from the shatter strikes him, it doesn't impact him fully, but you also see a strange purple glow begins to suffuse the energy as it rattles through him. And now there's a purple glow hanging around the seer. But he did seem to take some damage from that.
Okay. I'm gonna run back behind the pillar. Behind the statue.
I
Clave,
don't know
assume
why,
you're-
but that has made me think of NBA Jam. He's heating up. Uh,
I assume
yeah,
you're doing
same
the
thing.
same thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Zarius.
Just this guy in front of me, right?
Yep.
Have we hit this guy yet?
He's been hit.
Okay. Then you know what? Fuck this guy. Toll the Dead. Wisdom save. I guess he does have advantage even on those, huh? Oh, I guess we'll see. Jesus Christ. Alright. And then I guess I have a bonus action, so I can do. I will do a spiritual weapon. Swinging. I don't know if that'll hit with this guy.
That does not hit him.
Let me find my little thing and drag it on here. That's it.
So this guy in front of T-hole is going to try to move again. So you can take another attack of opportunity if you
Oh,
want.
he's going to. He's not gonna get away that easily.
That's a hit. So he is stuck again. These guys. These guys sort of disappear into, there's some weird foliage. You hear some splashing as they go running through a little lake. They'll get to make their saves again. One of them is not frightened. The other guy will come moving up since he's not frightened anymore. And he stops there, but he had to double move to get there. Let me just see who gets their ability back. None of them. Seer is going to try to hit Zarius again with his staff. That's a hit. That's a miss. So Zarius, there is a flash and a boom as you are knocked prone after being hit with this staff.
Interesting. Is that bludgeoning then considered magical then?
Yes, his attacks are magical.
I gotta make a con save.
Made it.
Yeah.
And it's Teal's turn.
Teal's gonna finish the job. Hopefully.
That's a hit. That didn't finish the job though.
Yeah.
That's a miss. That's a hit. And that finishes him off. So you see his body, which was pretty supple before, begins to almost tighten up and contract as his body turns into crystal, which then begins to crack apart and shatter into just millions of pieces, turning into almost like a white powder with occasional bits of blue, like blue glass that spills out at your feet.
And T-Hole like looks down and says, well, I guess he wasn't all he cracked up to be. And then moves on and uses his one last action or one last attack that he has available to
Where's the glasses?
Yeah, and I'm sorry, I forgot. He actually did another 3 points of radiant damage to Zarius, and that purple glow around him diffused after that.
So Teal's gonna run up to this seer and hit him with punch him. This guy.
That's a hit.
And he gets the martial arts die. That's his turn.
Okay. Aurelia.
Okay, well. Scoot down here, and I'm gonna hit this guy with Eldritch Blast. $20.
That's a hit.
25. Ooh, 1 more damage. 22.
Those all hit.
All right, and I will move back to where it was.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
Glaive doing the same thing. I don't think we have Mike's full attention.
Oh, did you not hear me? I said yes.
Oh yeah, you were muted, I guess.
Oh.
Okay. Zarius. Are you muted, Zarius, or are you saying something?
I sure was, yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and do the vampiric touch on him again on this one.
Okay.
Looks like I think it's 26 hits.
Yeah.
That's some decent damage.
And again, you see he only takes some of the damage. And then the rest of the spell's energy is suffused into a purple glow around him. So he only took half damage. So
Okay.
he took 7,
Okay,
and you get half of that.
right. Heal back that little bit of that last little bit of radiant damage he did to me. And then the spiritual weapon will swing at him.
It hits,
Actually,
no damage.
no damage.
Not that I see.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna. So it's a D8, obviously. So the max on the D8 would be a.
It's 22 total.
Yeah.
He chose the wrong thing to absorb. Anything else?
No, that's it for now.
So this mangler, well, he's sort of pinned, so he can't really move, but this one. He can only make it to there. This guy gets to make his save again, though.
T-hole's within line of sight now. I don't know. This is like an oasis, or I guess, like a tree, some trees and shit.
Right. So he is behind foliage. You really can't
Yeah.
see him from where you are.
Got it.
He does not make it.
Nope.
The other guy, however, he is the one who does have his ability back. So he is going to attack Zarius 6 times. Hitting
Oh, why
3 of
they-
them.
I don't understand why they roll so well against me.
They just hate you. Passion.
Something about that guy.
Right.
Makes me really want to claw him in the face.
And then let me see who gets their thing back.
So I was hit 3 times. So okay. The vampiric touch is gone.
But that is their turn. So the seer reaches out and grabs hold of his companion.
I slap him and say, "Stop that."
And they both appear over next to Aurelia.
So,
Is
like,
Aurelia visible?
teleported?
Yes, they teleported. Aurelia is so far as you know, because you don't have line of sight to her, not visible. But nonetheless, he is going to attack Aurelia. So I believe those both hit.
Oh yeah, yeah. Pretty much you roll, you hit.
So 44 damage total.
Yep.
That's his turn. Heal.
Well, T-hole can get kind of close.
He can move a great distance.
Yes,
He's a
he can,
monk, right?
he can, with his regular movement, he can move to like right here, here. So then he's gonna use a bonus action and a Kai point to do Step of the Wind. So he can make it to the seer, and then he's gonna use Staff of Striking twice. And I'm gonna spend 2 charges to do an additional 2d6. And martial arts die.
So those both hit. Anything else you're doing?
No, that's his turn.
Aurelia.
All right, I gotta make 2 concentration checks, right? Yeah,
Yeah, well, should have when you got hit. Yeah.
okay. Fail, fail, fail. All right, so I am now visible.
So, I mean, you rolled 1d20, but
Oh, wait a second.
what's your
I got a
what's your
bonus.
con
What a
your con
dumbass.
save bonus?
Oh, it's not much. 3. So the first one I
So-
made, the second one I failed.
Yeah, the second one's still only an 8. Minimum DC's a 10.
It's okay.
So you're visible.
Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. Good. So I can do disengage, right? And get as an action and move.
Yes, you can.
Okay. That's what I'm gonna do. Yeah. Go around here. All right.
Anything else?
That's it.
Glaive, I'm sure, is doing the same thing.
That is
So we-
correct.
Darius.
Trying to find something right quick.
And those guys, that guy teleported near us, right?
Yeah.
So did they make their saves?
You don't know if the disease has affected them or not.
Oh, okay. All right.
The initial effects aren't as obvious as that.
Oh, okay.
In their own worlds, though, they have like a long-term story where they slowly get cancer and die. It's very poignant to them.
Right. I can't find my sheet for the. Is there a way to search the stuff?
What are you looking for?
Oh, here it is. I found it. I couldn't remember what spells were on the prayer beads.
Yeah, I would look for the item.
Yeah, I found it here.
That's true. I guess as a player, you can't easily search, but it should be in the magic item section.
I got it here. It's up towards the
Indeed.
top, so it's like in
Yeah.
the top section,
It's kind of a
Which is-
shame they don't allow that.
which is fine because
Yeah,
it's
I don't
easier
know
to
why.
find there. So I wasn't sure. Yeah, there is a cure wounds on it, but I guess it's probably only at a second level. Okay. So I think Aurelia's just been hit. T-hole's been hit a little bit, right?
A fair bit.
I'm gonna cast. Can't believe I don't have that other one prepared. Yeah, so I'm gonna cast a heightened mass healing word to heal me, T-hole, and Aurelia. For 14 points.
Nice.
That's a bonus action.
Yep.
I can't see this guy, huh?
No, he's behind the statue.
That's my normal movement. I don't know if it's really worth it for me to do much else. Yeah, I think I'll just dash. Yeah. No,
You're
kinda
moving
stay
the
over here.
spiritual weapon.
That's a bonus action to do, so
Oh, okay.
so that's it for me.
So the one that's way up here gets a save again. He made it. What is it? +3. He does not have bless on him. To there. Oh no, that's the end of his turn. He's still afraid at the start of his turn. There. This one's gonna run down to Zarius.
Is that oh, I guess he could have just missed it.
Yeah, he would have avoided running, into your attack range. Or else he
Yeah.
would have attacked you. T-hole, make me 2 wisdom saves because he's gonna break it up. He's gonna hit you once with the staff and then chuck the colorful orb at you. So you made it. So he throws the psychedelic orb, but it has no effect on you. And he misses with his staff attack, I assume. Oh, 19. That's your AC, right?
Yeah, my 19 is an AC, yeah. Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, so he did hit.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't see the staff above the
Right. So
Yeah.
it was 26 damage and you're knocked prone.
wolf.
As again, there is an explosion from the head of the staff as he strikes you with it that knocks you over. And it's your turn.
He kicks his leg back out to get back up in a very Fancy, fancy move.
And thus breakdancing was invented.
And he comes up and brings down the staff.
That's a miss.
You
And
are
then-
inspired.
Oh, I am inspired. I forgot. Thank you. I'm gonna try it.
That's a hit.
All right. And then all right.
Wrong guy. I was about to take the hit points from you. Stop hitting yourself.
So yeah, T-Hole's realizing he really likes this 1, 2, 3, 4 with the staff of striking. Like every hit, he remembers how this feels, and it feels good.
Yeah, he uses his reaction to absorb one of those hits though, so it hurts him, but it only does half damage. The crit. And he is again enveloped in this purple energy. And it's Aurelia's turn. About to see if they got their things back.
So I guess I can see where those two guys are. That are near T-hole.
Yep.
And I'll do black spherical death strike again. Here we go. Boom, yeah. It's not.
He made it.
Oops. 33. Like 16 damage. I'll move down here. I'll move the rest of my movement down here.
Okay.
Right.
Clave, I'm sure, is doing the same thing. So it's Arius.
Yeah, he's kind of wondering what's taking so long for the pounding to begin on the walls, but he's too tired and disturbed to think about
you
doing anything else.
just jump in. If I'll say your name just so you have a chance, but just jump in if I'm wrong and you're changing your tactic.
Like, it's a very simple thing. He could just open a little bit of fucking people and to look, just to look, you know.
And then a gaseous form of an Ifrit pops in.
Oh, you'll be fine. This guy, has this one been touched? I don't even know.
Yeah.
Okay. Then let's
Only the
forward
one, only the one who's running away is still afraid, who just made a save. He hasn't been touched, but the other ones have.
I'm gonna toll a dead on this guy in front of me.
So on the seer or the other one?
No, just the one right in front of me here.
Okay.
Fuck off.
Once again, you see the passion in his eyes as he somehow resists.
Yep, and I have moved my spiritual weapon a little bit closer. That's it.
Okay. So the one who hates you is going to attack Darius. This other one is going to move around to attack Keyhole.
Which of those claws? Where did the claws? Were all the claws for T-hole?
Yes, well, so there were the first two after the wisdom saving throw were at Zarius.
Okay.
So one of those hit Zarius, and then the second two were at you. So the 22 hit you.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
And then the third guy is going to start his trek back. That's as far as he makes it. Teal, make me 2 wisdom saves as he's going to try hucking 2 psychedelic orbs at you this time.
At advantage.
The mate made it. That makes it 2. That's his turn. Teal.
Hmm.
He just wants to stun you again. Can't you just give him that?
No. He's gonna do the same playbook
That's a hit.
and then I'm gonna attempt a stunning strike. It's a DC 17. He makes it.
That's a miss. The next door hits.
And martial arts die.
He absorbs that last one. So it only does half damage. And the
Alright.
purple energy field around him gets brighter. Aurelia.
Um, see. Eldritch Blast, one that's on Zarius.
Those both hit. Although your crit is set wrong.
Okay.
Should be 3 plus 10.
Okay. All right.
So he looks like maybe he could stand up to that level of attack one more time, but probably not twice. He's not in good shape though.
All right.
Anything else you're doing?
No, that's it.
Clave, I assume, was doing the same thing. Caesarius.
Um, let's see. How are these guys looking right now as far as structural integrity of their weird crystalline? form?
Yeah, so they don't necessarily look like they're made of crystal. The seer definitely has crystals poking out of him. None of them look like they're in good shape, but the seer doesn't exactly look like he's about to fall over imminently.
Okay. Just trying to gauge whether it's worth using this spell or not. I'd really like for them to be more hurt. You did your your version of the divine strike, right? Or
Flame strike.
yeah, the flame strike one.
Yeah.
Who did you do it on? These?
So yeah, those two up there.
Okay. Did they make the save? I don't remember.
Yeah,
they
they
both
did.
made it.
But this one you said was glowing or whatever.
Yes,
Like it had absorbed an attack or something.
right.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna make sure it should be within range. No, I wasn't going for a circle, but okay. Was still at 20-ish feet. Cool. I'm gonna cast Blight on him. So it has to make a con save or take this much damage.
On the
Really?
seer or on,
Yes.
okay.
Half as much on a success. If it
No,
happens
it
to be a plant,
He has magic resistance.
sure.
So, but he takes half the damage.
And it's not a plant.
He is not a plant.
Okay.
He is
Got to make sure.
utter-
He would
utterly
take a lot of
alien.
damage. He's vulnerable to that.
Mhm.
If it were, but oh well. Okay. Yeah, it's still something.
Yep.
5, 10, 15, 20. Slowly but surely. A spiritual weapon bobbing its fucking way through the battlefield. I'm not going to provoke or anything. I can take some hits still, so go ahead. That's it.
Okay. So this guy, take his little thing off. He's not afraid anymore. Oh, I forgot to roll to see if they get their thing back. So formerly last of the frightened guys. He starts to move and then you hear something, some sort of weird guttural intonation from the seer, and he changes direction. That's all you can do. The one next to T-hole is going to attack T-hole. Oh.
I'll
Potential
stop the
crit.
crit. Stop it.
All of those? Oh yeah, I had the 6 of them. Okay. Yeah, the 19 hits. And the crit hits.
Yep.
I only got
So-
one more of those, by the way. One more
Did you
negation.
negate? Did you negate that one?
I did it. Yeah, I did. Yeah.
So yeah, just 16 damage. And then the last one will attack Sarius 6 times. Should have put something between them. So the 25 hit, 18 misses.
It's
Your AC is 20?
20.
I forget.
20.
Okay, so the
Yeah.
19 misses.
that'll miss. Yeah.
That hits.
That's
One
one
more.
more. See it, 25. Oh, okay, cool.
No, just 2 hits.
Yep.
22 damage. Not magical damage. The seer, who's just getting annoyed, is just going to attack twice with his staff so that he can release this pent up energy he has. Hopefully. I don't think that
Like
did
a
it.
12-year-old boy.
Yep. Peel.
T-hole is into.
And I would point out that the one mangler ran up to the crystal for some reason. But he had to double move to get there. So you're not sure what he's doing.
Hmm. Well, T-hole does have the threat around him.
Right.
How beat up is the one that ran up to the crystal?
Hasn't been touched.
Hasn't been touched. Well, I think he's gonna press the attack on this one anyway. The seer.
Yep. So 28 hits.
At 20.
20 hits.
Can't roll above a 3 on this martial arts die tonight.
He's not going to bother absorbing those. He realizes he's going to get hit by somebody else. Aurelia.
Hmm. Don't know if they'll work on these guys, but we'll have to find out. So I gotta move up 5 feet. And I start to play the Black Melody on this dude that's next to the crystal. So he gets to make a wisdom save.
Is that anything like the brown note?
So he failed. So what's the effect?
Does he take psychic damage?
You can.
Okay. He takes 68 psychic damage on a failed save and becomes frightened and has half its movement his speed is halved. So I gotta roll that. I should probably have it 6 to 8 psych damage. 28.
So he appears to be frightened again. Anything else you're doing?
Um. Step away from him another 5 feet. Okay, nope, that's it.
All right. Glaive is doing his own thing. You don't know. Glaive could be saving the world from inside that room.
There's no fucking way.
He hears the pounding out there. We hear the pounding. in there.
You don't know? No, I can know.
So it's Cyrus's turn.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and check. That's only 30 feet. Okay.
Do those creatures understand void speech?
You don't know, but you imagine from what you know of them that they would.
Okay, because it wouldn't affect him then. So
Oh,
Really?
so then
yeah, it says does not affect creatures that understand void speech.
yeah, so he hears the black melody and he is actually not afraid.
Starts tapping his toe.
Yeah,
Hey, I
forgot
remember
about
this
that.
one.
Okay, and then that would change what I do. Because I would move further away from him.
Yeah, I can't. I've got no way of gauging hit points on these guys right now.
I mean, this guy, it looks like T-Hole could pretty easily, well, pretty easily. T-Hole could probably take him down in a round.
Okay.
This guy he's doing a little bit better, but T.O. could take him down in 2 rounds.
Okay. And other one?
It is harder to gauge him, but he doesn't seem quite as damaged as the other two, relative to his him being at full health.
Hmm. Um. hmm. So I might be able to like. So how tall is the base of this?
The base is only like a foot.
Okay, so could I like fly my thing through like the legs or whatever?
Yeah, I
It's
suppose
got a
since
20-foot reach.
just
It's only 20 feet. Like it, like you could occupy the same space as it.
right. Yeah, I think that's fine. It's essentially, functionally speaking, basically tiny.
Right. Because I'd like it to attempt to hit him.
Yeah, that's fine.
Hit. Yeah, that's pretty
That
good.
hits.
Damn it. Hit and then damage. Whole 8. And then I'll look back and ask if Aurelia has any high damage output spell that she can use against the big guy. Can you hit him really hard? You're muted.
Yeah, I can try. Probably do that. I can do the strike again.
Okay. I'm gonna hold my action to right before Aurelia's turn to use my channel divinity. Basically, right before Aurelia's, like basically right on Aurelia's turn, essentially, I'm gonna invoke the path to the grave on this thing, which will give it vulnerability to the next. Or actually, you know what? Hold on, let me double check. It might have to be a strike. An ally of yours hits the cursed creature with an attack. It's very, very colloquial, but it might be on purpose. So it might. I don't know if a saving throw attack will work.
What are you trying to do?
I want to do here. I'll put it in here. My path to the grave, so that the next time something hits this, it says whenever an ally, you or an ally, hits the cursed creature with an attack, they're vulnerable to the damage.
So yeah, just to be clear, an attack doesn't include a saving throw spell.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. Anything that involves an attack roll by chance.
Right. Yes.
If not you, then I'll do it on T-Hole's turn.
Okay. So I'm sorry, are you putting that down now?
No, I'm gonna.
Hold
Let's
hold
see.
your action?
Yeah, I'm just gonna hold the action. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. You don't have like an attack roll thing, do you? It's mostly saving throws, right?
For a
Or-
bard, it's all saving throws. They don't,
Yeah.
unless they have a weapon in their hand, they do not roll to
Mhm.
attack.
Well, she's got Eldritch Blast, but that's
That's
really
true.
it's only gonna help so much.
Yeah, that
but
would. Yeah, no, don't waste it on that.
it's either on the Eldritch Blast or T-Hole's fists. So
Yeah,
or he's
I'd
got the
rather-
striking thing, so maybe it'll be
Right.
good with the striking. I'll do it
Yeah.
on T-Hole's. I'm gonna
Yeah.
do it on T-Hole's.
And
That makes more sense.
while you're having this conversation, they are also having their own conversation, but you're not sure what they're saying. It's some weird guttural language that even Aurelia doesn't know. It's not
Oh,
void
okay.
speech.
Not even deep speech, huh?
Maybe void
Right.
speech. Okay.
Or void speech, whatever it is.
Well, deep speech and void speech are actually different things, but
Yeah. That's I forgot what it was.
so you're just holding your action then? Or did you move the I don't see, where did the spiritual weapon go? Oh, that's right. And it hit. Okay.
Under the skirt of that Centurion thing.
So the Mangler who is on Zarius, he begins to run, and you can take an attack of opportunity if you want.
No, it's all right. It's not like I could stop him.
So he actually has to slightly double move to get to the crystal. The other one reaches out towards the crystal. You see his entire form begins to almost diffuse or melt into a gaseous state, that then immediately flies into the crystal and he disappears.
Teal, or not Teal. Clave, what's this crystal?
And this Mangler near T-Hole is going to attack T-Hole. And hit once.
By the way, I think Zarius, good call not taking that attack of opportunity because then you couldn't have used your reaction for your ready.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm sorry, I missed your message. Would it be? Make me an intelligence check. I guess you can make an investigation check, Clave.
Okay.
Okay. So the seer is going to attack T-Hole twice. Miss.
The hit.
Yep. So 20 damage. It then reaches out and touches the other creature. And they both turn into pure energy and disappear into the crystal, zipping across the room.
Disappear into the crystal?
Into the crystal. The energy that they've transformed into flows into the crystal, which glows briefly and vanishes. So there's only one creature left, and it appears to be trying to get away too. And it's T-Hole's turn. Oh, I guess I took away the one who I rolled the initiative for.
Let's see. Hmm. You know, Teal's just gonna let it go. You see T-Hole kind of limping over to Zarius. And because T-Hole's got 10 hit points left. So he's really hurting. So he just limps over. He's like, those things are tough. And that's his turn.
Aurelia.
All right. So this guy's like trying to get into the crystal, like he's
You imagine that like the last one, he is trying to somehow transform into energy and flow through the crystal to get away.
okay. All right. I'm gonna I'm gonna cast Shatter on him and try to catch the crystal next. That's that area.
Okay, so you could easily do double max damage on the crystal. Let's see what you do to this guy. So you can, is that what's double max damage? You can calculate that for me.
Shit.
Oh, we saved.
Of course it is.
I mean, I guess I still have my reaction. Maybe I can just hit this guy instead, since the other fucking dude disappeared. I don't know. I guess I can't really. I didn't call for that reaction on it. So
Yeah, you were waiting for T-Hole to attack. And T-Hole asked for healing instead. Well, he didn't ask for healing, but it was implied.
So
really playing up the limpness. Oh,
so if it's
God.
double max damage, it'd be 64 on the crystal.
Okay. Let me just send a message. There, send it to Clave. So this thing is still up. Anything else you're doing?
Take a couple steps back.
You do see visible cracks have formed in the crystal.
Okay.
And it's Clave's turn if he wants to do anything.
Yes. Clave is using his bonus action to change the Mirage Arcane. The walls around his room disappear, and he creates a barrier around the crystal, and he shouts, "Don't harm the crystal!" And then Of course, you can't see him because he's invisible. And then let's see. Um,
Yeah, by the way, the room is now getting fairly hot because there's this moat of magma. So Clave, you just feel as this wave of heat comes and smacks you in the face once you remove the walls.
Oh, so I was also in my head, it was also smoothing out the floor as well to remove the magma.
Okay. Still, the room had heated up in the meantime, so.
Yeah. And then let's see.
Don't hurt the crystal. They went into the crystal.
Um, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, there's not a clear shot there. Yeah, so Clay would just keep moving then. 2. Okay. And that's Clave's turn.
Okay, Zarius.
This thing is still alive then.
Yep.
I don't want to use a big spell on it. I'll do Toll the Dead on him. Now I rolled shit damage. That's a big.
So he looks like he's on his last legs, but he's not quite down.
God damn it. Okay. Yeah, you know what? Hold on. Maybe if I move 5. Maybe I'll use an action point. I really think I always like try and save them for saves, but might be worth it here. I'm gonna do because I forget. Is it next? I don't remember.
Yeah, it's before Teal. I accidentally deleted it from the initiative.
Okay. Then I'm gonna. It would be funny, but I don't know if it's good enough. He's got a decent movement. Oh, and it would be knocked prone. Maybe it'll work. Oh wait, let me make sure I'm even close enough. I don't even know if I'm close enough. Oh fuck, it's not 15 feet. Darn. Unless, yeah, I don't think, because I was going to use one of my breath attacks on it, my breath weapons, but it's like fucking 5 feet out.
Probably not worth an action point to get the extra 5 feet.
No, so yeah, I guess I'll. Apparently, I did a painting. Okay. Then it's not worth the action point to even do anything extra. It's just gonna get away. I'm done.
Well, as part of my Mirage Arcane, I also put up a barrier like around the crystal.
I don't think it's gonna
Pretty
matter.
sure I said that.
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
So
It
it
might
begins to
not matter, but
right. It begins to transform into energy, and then you see it reforms on the spot. And it looks, you hear it howl in a rage. But that's not his action, so I guess only Zarius is close. It just runs over to Zarius.
Sure.
Let me see if it got its thing back. It did not, so. They still, it's the passion really that makes it roll well.
The bullshit is what it is.
The oomph behind those swings.
That's its turn. It has the look of panic of something trapped in a cage. But the barrier did seem to effectively block it from going in, although it could have also been the damage to the crystal. It's hard to say. Heel's turn.
Yep, Teal is going to go up to the remaining one. Now that Zarius is engaging with it. And strike
And
it.
that kills it. It also shatters, turning into a glassy powder.
T-hole's still looking pretty rough, right?
Oh yeah, he's looking really rough.
Yeah, I'll cast heal on you. 70 hit points for you.
Wow. He is looking a lot better.
are we out of rounds now?
Yep.
So, you guys notice the heat first before anything. And then Clave drops the concentration on his invisibility and appears before you. But he's quite different. He appears to have a burning crown of flame atop his head. He's incredibly burned, like very badly burned. The burns are very fresh. His skin is raw. There are areas where he had hair, and he's appearing in his natural form. Areas where he had hair that was burned away, and circling the crown are glyphs of Ignan characters. Uh, and then for a moment, he maintains the crown before it disappears. And he says very angrily, "Do not ever harm this crystal."
What is the crystal? What is this place?
The crystal is perhaps the single greatest mind and most powerful artifact I have ever encountered. It
Are
is it is alive.
Are those creatures manifestations of it?
No, I don't think so. But I do think that they're able to somehow transmit themselves through it. I got glimpses of it from as I was communing with the crystal just a moment ago. But no, this crystal must be protected at all costs. And I should note the crystal is not just this part here in the room, and he releases uh the barrier for a moment before putting it up in case any more creatures come through. Um, It is actually the entirety of this city. They've harnessed and shaped the crystal into the structures of the city. Painfully for the crystal. But this whole city is a living being.
Are we back inside the domed city?
Yeah. How did you guys get here? Did you travel through the crystal?
I do not think so.
Some.
We had divine guidance.
Okay.
I bad brain at remembering. What was the
Sekhmet?
which Sekhmet? Yeah. I'm real bad at remembering shit. Sekhmet was able to transfer us here, or a vessel of hers at least.
Okay. Is Kepri here?
Somewhere.
But not here in this room.
No,
All
I
right.
need to give this to her, and I'll produce the little charm.
Yeah, Kepri's been compromised.
We know.
Oh. Okay.
We
Hence
learned.
this.
We learned recently. This is not a thing that has always been known.
Yeah, there's something that is looking through her eyes. I assumed it was Grandfarelis, or however you say it.
Close enough for your tongue. We still need to get her.
So what's with the crown of flames and the magma moat?
Well, the magma was just, part of my Mirage Arcane. I didn't know that it was you guys. I mean, I'm not in great condition right now, so I wasn't really going to try to fight if I could avoid it. But the crown, that's the result of a little experiment that I put together. One that went pretty successfully, actually. I managed to transfer the magic of Abar Corsix's mace into me.
How long are we able to stay here?
I imagine that we're probably not safe here. If they were able to send these creatures through the crystal, then they know, one, they know we're here. Two, they're likely sending reinforcements. And much like your weather, this Mirage Arcane can be dispelled. And if they were able to dispel the weather effect that you created, they can certainly dispel this. So if there's a means of getting out of here, I suggest that we take it. But we definitely need to come back to save these people and protect this crystal.
How did they not find this crystal before? Were they using it for some other means?
What do you mean?
Well, you said to save this crystal.
The
From what?
entire city is made of this crystal. It is a single structure, a single entity.
Understood.
This is just an outcropping of a much larger creation, artifact.
Hmm.
You see the crystal pulses with white light shining out of it, and you hear several thuds against the barrier.
we should get going. I mean, you guys had gotten away. I had barely escaped with my life. I crawled into this little closet, and once I was able to summon the energy, I created this sanctum. And I've been doing experiments since, by the way, Aurelia, here. And Clave hands Aurelia the garment that was worn by Abara Corsix. I've looked into the magic of this, and I think it would be particularly useful for you.
Okay.
But we need to get going. So call Sekhmet.
That is not how this works. Perhaps if we can find Kepri, we will be able to leave like that. But even then, it is not guaranteed. To be honest, I did not expect to be here and immediately accosted by these beings.
Oh, they at least have the decency to wait.
Do you at least know where Kepri is?
I was told close, but she's not yet within my psychic link.
All right. Well, if we're going to escape there, I can uncover the door that I used to enter here. This was just like a small closet that I had managed to find. So, but we'll need to be careful. I suggest that we go invisibly if possible. I do not think that the magic of my illusions will offer much benefit, as many of the people here, perhaps all of them, have psychic talent and would be able to. We wouldn't be able to get very far.
Not disguised, correct? Will they not still be able to sense us, even if we are invisible?
I mean, I was able to move invisibly to get here, so it's the best option I can think of.
I lack the skill to be invisible.
Well, I can make us all invisible if I need to. Aurelia, can you make yourself invisible?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay.
Sent Aurelia a message.
That would cause me a bit less strain. And Clave wasn't lying when he said that he was gravely injured. Zarius, you would be able to tell particularly that he's probably at less than a third of his normal hit points.
No chance of a long rest then.
I mean, the sound of the thudding intensifies, and you can see that there are cracks forming in the barrier.
Can you find us where's this exit? Let us move.
I'll call it up once we're invisible. And
Well, they can see our invisibility.
what do you mean?
Well, that C or whoever he was could see me when I was invisible.
Okay, but those weren't changelings. When we get out, most of the things that we'll be seeing are other changelings. So Clave is gonna cast invisibility at 4th level to be able to cover T-Hole, himself, and
What's his name?
Zarius. And then once Aurelia turns invisible, if she decides to do that, Clave will he will remove the illusion of where the original door was.
Right. So this was you walled off a section, like a little alcove, but then you went down underneath the level of the city. because that's how you access the crystal. It was one of the
Ah.
essentially at the foot of a building in the foundation. So that's why there's a ladder in this room. I knew you'd sealed off the way up, but I left the ladder there to indicate where it was. But
Okay.
climbing up this ladder, you unseal the essentially just the ground outside the street. And you climb up into what is a sealed off little box that was an alcove. And then you can unseal it to invisibly move out into the city streets. You see there's a crystal tower in front of you that's maybe 5 or 6 stories tall. There are several changelings that are just sort of milling about, going about their business. Some people coming in and out of the tower, mostly seemingly young changelings. Maybe surprisingly, most of the changelings here seem to be in their natural forms. There doesn't seem to be much, there's probably no need for them to adopt disguises, and it doesn't seem to be the normal custom. Occasionally you see one that you imagine might be a changeling in disguise, but it seems to be pretty uncommon. So what is your overall plan? Are you you realize that you are not actually all that far away from the gatehouse where you were in the fight with the Ifrit. And Clave knows very well that he is not that far away from it. So you are, in the southern portion of the city. Most of the city lies to the north.
So telepathically, I would just call out to Zarius. All right, so what's the plan to find Kepri?
Well, I could cast a spell to message her, but of course, I believe that will break this invisibility.
Yeah.
Then the only other idea is to move about until I can find a link with her. Unless maybe I can use an action point to cast sending and not break invisibility.
I would allow that.
If we have a place, I can manage it once. If we can designate a location to meet.
I mean, if we can find somewhere close by, I can create an illusory wall that would hide us fairly easily. So even if you were to end your invisibility, you would be able to call Kepri with the sending spell.
It would be helpful.
You have seen more of the city than we have.
Not really. I after you guys teleported away, I had to jump off of a 2 or 3 story wall, uh, and invisibly and cast invisibility and just scurry away as quickly as I could. I was on the verge of death. I was I'm pretty sure that my leg is not completely well right now. I wouldn't go so far to say is it's broken, but it's definitely not good.
I feel like Zarius has to like feel a twinge in his own leg. 20 years.
Oh, your leg is bad. No.
Well, I mean, you've got the limp and the swelling problem.
Oh, there's
now.
that too. Yeah. I'll just we could mend your leg as soon as we are safe. I have the magics necessary to do that.
Alright, well, let's go find a place where I can create a fake wall that won't be noticed. That way, once that illusion is up, I can change a very small segment. You can let Kepri know what to look for.
So there are many little alcoves. Most of them appear to be like seating areas, at least within this. So the city itself seems to be designed to include a number of cells around these crystal towers. Most of them seem like they have little recreational seating areas. Those tend to be set off in these little alcoves, like the one you originally dipped into and sealed off. So it's easy to find alcoves that you can seal off. It will take a little bit of patience to do it out of the line of sight of somebody who happens to just be walking by the area, as the city's relatively crowded. But eventually, if you wait, you could find the time to do that.
Alright. So once we find that area and we are able to get the timing right, I would cast Major Illusion to create the wall. And it would be just basically whatever wall is up against our backs. I would give us like 2 feet or so, and then have the wall be placed in that area, so it just looks like the wall is a little pushed up than normal.
Mhm. Okay. So you seal yourself off in an alcove.
All right, Zarius, it should be safe now to call for Kepri.
Um, once we have um, rejoined with Kepri, if there was no speedy divine intervention to get us out of here, do we have another plan?
You're the guys that came here.
I'm looking at everybody.
I mean, I've been stuck here. I've done some wonderful research, so many fascinating things that I've learned, but in terms of getting out of here, in terms of knowing what the rest of the city looks like, I have no clue.
That makes sense. I'm sure you had to sneak your way past guards, hold your own.
Yeah.
So you're sending a message to Kepri?
Yeah, I'll send a message to Kepri. So what do we have as far as like landmarks or whatever, so I can send her to? Or I guess I could. Are we? I guess we would be nearish where we first separated, right?
Right.
Um,
That said, you don't necessarily know that Kepri knows the city any better than you do.
Yeah.
So
I would hope that
finding,
she can kind of find her way here back to where she was. Hopefully.
right.
Um. So yeah, I guess.
Um, is
Yeah.
there,
Yeah, so at least at that point, I can get a psychic link to her. If I can just get her close enough.
but also, Kurt, based on what Clave has seen of the city, um, is there any kind of marking or like something that Clave may have observed that would be would be noticeable to Kepri, but also not totally like obvious to like people that are from here. Like I imagine like if like a graffiti is not something that is pretty common in this city. Um, but are there any kind of markings or something?
Um, I mean, I imagine it is entirely possible that you came across some graffiti somewhere. Like you said, it would be rare. I don't know if Pepri would have come across the same graffiti you did.
Yeah.
Well, there are trees though, right?
Yeah, there are all sorts of trees. They've planted a lot of trees.
Okay. Um, so I can can I can I change the illusion of the wall with my illusory uh malleable illusions to include a tree that kind of maybe is in front of the wall and maybe to somebody that was looking up close it would be connected to the wall, but so that I wouldn't need to because otherwise I'll have to cast another illusion would end this one.
Yeah, I would let you make a tree that's connected to the wall in some way.
Okay. Um, and then there will be at the top of the tree there will be kind of a couple of branches that are just bare in an X shape.
Okay.
Um, so Zarius, you can tell Kepri to look for the tree with the X in the top of the branches.
Yeah, so I'll send a message to Kepri, telling her not to tell anyone. Don't tell anyone. Uh, seek the tree with the X uh, near where you first started searching for Clave.
And you hear back, I'm pretty sure I can find that place again. I'll make my way back and start looking.
Perfect. She's received the message and said she will begin to look. I'll have that little charm ready. Does it
So
require attunement?
Be attuned to anything?
No, but does it? We have to wait an hour for it to be actually using that, like actually taking effect.
so Kurt, my illusion will only last 10 minutes. So if I need to recast it, I will do so at 6th level. And then that way it will remain until dispelled.
You're definitely going to need to recast it.
Okay, so I'm just gonna do that.
She's not going to be here in 10 minutes.
Yeah. So I'll recast it with a 6th level spell slot.
So yeah, you're in this essentially like a little box of an alcove with a tree growing outside it with an X on top. It takes actually about 2 hours before Zarias, you sense Pepri being within 100 feet of you again.
You got enough of your illusions to do that?
We'd have to cast invisibility again.
But she is in range.
Yeah, so as soon as I feel her, like, all right, and I'll like kind of open my eyes to I'll see through her eyes, and then kind of guide her towards us, letting her know I have something for her that she must put on.
So she flies towards the wall. I assume the wall is solid?
No.
Or no? Okay, so she
if-
just flies through the wall.
Yeah, if I were to make it solid, it would only remain for a minute.
Though, that's true. As you're looking through her eyes, you see there are two changelings with her.
Yeah, no, I'll tell her to lose them. They can't be here.
And you hear back, but these are my friends. They helped save me.
This is not a request.
Wait a minute, Zarius, that may be a bit more reasonable than you think.
Why?
One of the things that I did while you guys were gone and I was looking into the crystal, I projected a message to everybody in the city.
How'd that go?
Actually, it was not as good as I would have liked, but it actually was somewhat effective. I challenged the idea of Thurisdan being the right path. And it seems, from what I could tell in monitoring some of the feedback in response, there may have been a few people that become a bit skeptical. Not many at all, but at least a few. Perhaps Khepri found two of them.
It seems unlikely.
Why don't you ask Khepri about how they met and how they saved her?
I'll ask her.
She confirms that they are dissidents, and they are looking to throw off the shackles of the religious types here in the city.
Mm-hmm.
And so that they are, abuzz with the message that she also heard from Clave, which may seem odd to you because she normally can't telepathically communicate with anything but dragons and dragonborn.
Right.
But she claims she heard the message from Clave.
Okay. Well, and they claim to be dissidents, but claiming and being are two different things.
I mean, nobody
this is-
saw Khepri when we were battling with the Abara or that other strange changeling. So there would be no reason for them to associate Khepri with us. It would be strange for them to make the assumption that aligning or tricking Khepri would lead them to our whereabouts.
Do you know who has been scrying upon her?
As I said, I assumed that it was your patron dragon, or perhaps that Paradana who we had encountered. It seemed like a dark presence.
Zarius has the interesting experience of having two sets of telepathic communications going on at once. As while Clave is saying this, Khepri is chiming in to sort of say that at one point she was hit with a spell and she was injured enough that she essentially just fell to the ground and had to physically hide because she couldn't turn invisible. But one of the dissidents actually managed to find her and hid her, taking her to an enclave of people who were fighting against the reigning government here, the theocracy. At that point, they heard about Clave's message from Clave, and she then happily told them that she knows who that is and that she's a member of the same group as him. And so you would realize that they absolutely might think that if they kept her around, they'd bump into Clave eventually. That said, they saved her beforehand, before they knew that.
Sure.
I think it's worth giving him at least a chance.
Be cautious. Bring them here.
So Kepri flies through the wall, turning visible only after she passes through, and then two changelings follow in behind her.
I likely, like, knowing she was going to be getting close, I might have animated my staff just in case.
But
But
the two
otherwise-
changelings come in and bow their heads down and say, we are honored to meet you. We have been hoping to find allies. We did not think that we would. We thought we would have to live in hiding possibly for our entire lives. Or leave and try to join the other clades, but we are certain that they would not accept us because we were born kindred. Which one of you is Clave, the telepath? I don't remember if you mentioned your name or not. You probably didn't. So they wouldn't know they would
I
know your name
did,
only from Kepri. Okay.
I did, and I actually, as part of the message, included a visual of the Colossus and the Deadpools, including Lucia Rossi, but also the images as they appeared in the picture books,
That's right.
and then also Clave standing kind of as the leader, and and in a much more glorious pose and form than
Yes, less burned.
yeah.
He's trying to retcon his way into the picture books.
Hey, Clave was delirious with a horribly injured leg, just looking for anything to grab onto Hope.
Those
So
images are not canon.
Just fan fiction.
Fanfic, yeah.
In the live action remake of the picture books, they will make Clave the main character.
so telepathically, I would say yes. That is I. I was the one that sent the message.
And they immediately stop speaking aloud and just switch to pure telepathy with Clave. Asking all sorts of questions. Actually, again, you're sort of bombarded by both of them at once. One of them wants to know, whether or not you have any sort of plan to help rally people. The other one is just wondering, like, what would your suggested course of action be to help spread the word that Thurisdan is essentially a false god, or at least a god who will lead them to not a good end?
So Clay would say, first of all, well, we are outsiders, even myself. I'm not one of the changelings that grew up here.
Which clade are you then?
What was the name of the ones that because there's the Dancerar, and then
Right,
there's the
Right. So there's the clades are kind of like tribes within the Dancerar. You're from outside the Dancerar. Your thing was you were from a group they called the Thralar.
Thralar. That's it. I was like Thult, but Thult doesn't sound right because that's
Right.
Thuristan.
Yeah, you've sort of worked out since then that Thralar is definitely descended from the word for slave, and probably related to the word thrall in some distant way.
Yeah. So Clay would say I'm from the Thralar, I suppose, but I don't really have a connection to any kind of clay clan or like what you guys have.
It's no matter. We had just assumed.
Um, well, all of us are fairly injured from a recent battle. If there's a safe space where we can congregate, perhaps we can learn more from each other and develop a plan that is likely to succeed.
So they begin communicating amongst themselves telepathically, and then one of them says, "We absolutely can hide you, although I don't know how to get you across the city to our safe house. You would be easy enough, although in your damaged state, you'd be a little visible. You should probably adopt a different changeling form.
Well, what
Your
if we were to
friends,
walk invisibly?
that could also work if you simply followed us.
That is doable.
Can you keep your group together invisibly?
Yeah, I can telepathically communicate with them to, but I mean, we would also be following you, right?
Right. And as long as they all do that, in our experience, the single formed races don't always do what you expect them to do.
No, they definitely do not. Um, but this group can be corralled to some degree.
Well, we definitely can lead you to a safe house if you can turn invisible. I assume that will only last an hour.
Yes.
It may take us longer than an hour to navigate the streets to get there.
If need be, I have the capacity to cast it a few times.
That might be needed. We can try to quicken our pace, but you never know how crowded the streets will be, particularly as we move through the center of town. And obviously,
Um,
if we're moving invisibly, we'll need to keep our distance from anyone else. We wouldn't want you accidentally, or any of you accidentally bumping into someone.
yeah, so if there are any crowded marketplaces or anything like that, perhaps even if it takes a bit longer, finding an alternate route.
Yeah, we probably should avoid the center of town then, but that will definitely take us a bit longer than an hour to get where we need to go.
If absolutely needed, I can maintain the invisibility for myself and our group for probably about 3 hours.
I think we'll be there in less than two, but or more than one. Unless we make it obvious by running.
Um,
T
let's not make it obvious.
Teal just keeps like he's just getting annoyed because like he can tell that they're
Yeah.
probably talking to each other, but they're just like looking at each other.
Yeah, and they periodically do give like the rest of the group glances. It's hard to judge. They don't have there's no pupils in their eyes. It's just white eyes. So it's hard to say if they're like disdainful looks or what, but they do occasionally look over at you. Then that should be our plan. Make your group invisible, explain to them that they need to follow us as closely as possible and avoid bumping into anyone.
Okay.
And that we will need to stop. There is a park that is rarely used that we can stop in briefly near the end of the journey so you can cast invisibility again.
Okay. So Clave relays that to the group. Um, that we are going to be using invisibility. Um,
Yes.
And Clave would wonder, Zarius, is Kepri able to use her invisibility? She said she was injured, didn't she? She wasn't able to use it.
Yeah, I'll just ask her if she can use it still. If she can use it
She
again.
was,
Yeah.
yeah,
She was invisible when she
uh,
came in.
right. She was injured with a psychic attack that made her incapable of turning invisible, but she's been healed since then. She may be the only one at full health. Although full health for her is 22 hit points, I think.
Yeah, that's not much. So it's not saying.
Yeah, but she's
Aurelius,
like well rested, well fed.
definitely jelly. Because Clave has definitely had food and water, but they've all been Mirage Arcane food and water, so
No sustenance.
none.
You're eating pure arcana.
Um, but Aurelia, can you keep your invisibility up for a couple of hours?
Yeah.
Okay, that'll ease the strain on me then. So, Clave casts invisibility on Zarius himself and T-Hole once more, causing the illusion to fade away.
So they do lead you through the streets, and it does take about an hour and a half. You do have to stop at one point to recast invisibility on yourselves. But eventually you come into a very large rectangular courtyard. There are several changelings milling about, but it seems as though this courtyard is sort of off to the northwestern side of the city, butting up against the dome. So when they go in, they signal for these large outer doors to be closed. And one of the changelings, more richly appointed than any you've seen. In fact, most of the changelings dress in a sort of uniform sort of way. It is almost as if they have like slightly different colored uniforms on, but this guy is actually pretty richly dressed in silks, and there's clearly some level of symbolism to the different colors he's wearing because they're draped in a very ornate fashion around him. And he says, "Are you Clave? You you look like your image, though worse for wear. Do you need healing?"
Yes, if you can manage it.
We can do our best. Our healing abilities are not great, and you seem to be in need of perhaps more healing than we might be able to provide, but we can ease the burden somewhat.
We do
He
have
then
a
has,
healer amongst us, but we've recently been in battle, so we're
yeah,
not
you can
at our
see
full capacity.
he's having side telepathic conversations with actually many people in the courtyard at once, many of the changelings, including the two who led you here. I see. Well, I have many questions for you, but you all look a bit worse for wear, so those can wait. We should get you into hiding. Sometimes there are things that will fly overhead that might see you. And when your invisibility is dropped, you will be pretty noticeable. Come, rest. We can give you what healing we can. We can certainly feed you and give you something to drink. And then we can discuss what it is you need from us and hopefully what you can help us with.
Excellent.
And that's where we'll end it since we're going to lose Dustin.
Yep. Yeah, I'm fading. I'm surprised I'm still up, actually.
Yeah, I mean,
Wow.
I didn't know what the conversation was. I was assuming that I was not involved in it too much.
He was speaking aloud, so at
Oh,
least, yeah, at least you would have been able to pick up his side of the conversation. All of the other changelings were not speaking aloud, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like, as soon as we are in a safe place, I can heal somewhat.
Yeah, it's good to finally be back in the game.
Yeah, band's back together.
Man, if only you were involved in the fight some more.
That's my fault. I should have attacked the crystal right off.
Right.
Yeah. Should have realized. Somehow.
The
was
crystal
fun.
did seem a little out of place. I wanted to hit it. I did want to hit it, actually.
Thanks for running.
Yeah, that was fun.
So I'll just show you. Here is the space you're in. Minus all these little burns, they should have been gone. There are two enormous crystals on either end of this this space. Oh, they're built into the map. So the birds are not there. But otherwise, this is the space. You're not sure what the crystals do, but you're sure that they are projections of the crystal that otherwise runs through the city. In fact, as you were sort of traveling through the city, you would have noticed many of the buildings are made almost entirely of crystal. Even the walls and the roads and spaces are made of crystal. Although for the most part, they do try to use just natural stone. Whole sections of the city just appear to be directly made out of the crystal that lays underneath the city.
Hmm.
Which means if it's a living being, that they are literally like walking on and encased in this creature.
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so hear me out though. If we destroy it, do we take out a lot of them?
You
No,
don't know.
no, that's not an option. Clave would honestly, the minute that you attempt anything like that, he would kill you.
I'm not saying attempt. I'm not saying I was going to attempt. I'm like, isn't this like you know, I'm okay with last ditch effort. Like this is the only recourse we have, but shouldn't be discounted.
Yeah.
Maybe if he could interface with this thing.
Clave can.
Well, I can't. It was Zarius.
Oh. Oh.
This is just a fucking crystal to him. Like living
Wow.
crystal. That sounds absurd.
Well, Clave has learned a lot on the relationship between magic and psionics. Learned a lot about this crystal. He seeded this discord within the city. He transferred that magic from the mason to himself, but very painfully. It's been a pretty interesting time for him.
Looking
Fucking
for
singed half to death.
Not singed, like full on 3rd-degree burns.
we'll have good stories to share then.
Yeah.
Okay. Luckily, regeneration is a spell I have access to now, so that should help you out. If you're like actually fucking like fully fucking dismembered or like maimed beyond repair.
I mean, Clave is certainly disfigured compared to his normal self, but like it doesn't carry over into his other forms, just his natural one.
Right.
Yeah, and just to be clear, at no point did I say that he like shattered his leg jumping off that wall. So that is a Mike addition that I'm sure he will whip out again if he finds somebody who suffered physical trauma in his upcoming therapeutic game. So yeah, I mean, a long rest and he will basically be back to normal, except that he does have cosmetically physical burns. over much of his body, and those in his natural form won't go away. But he can, he could just live his life in a transformed state. And then only when he goes unconscious would he, remanifest these burns. He can make himself look like he's not burned.
Sure.
All right.
Have a good night. It was fun.
Take care, everyone.
Yeah, take it easy.